Hi everyone and welcome back to Chess for Charity. In this video, I'm going to show you a crazy checkmate in 4. So this is not very easy. You can eventually find the win, but 4 moves is a little bit harder. So see if you can find the right idea to checkmate black in exactly 4 moves. While you're considering the answer here, let me quickly encourage you to subscribe if you have not yet already. Half of the income I earn in this channel goes directly to charity, so every like, every subscriber helps us out a lot, and it also helps out charity. Okay, let's get to the puzzle here. So there's a lot of pieces on the board, and you see these puzzles sometimes where all these pieces are bunched up. You have to kind of keep them all together. So let's just go through how you might approach this. One thought is, hey, let's push this pawn. If you promote to a queen, it is stalemate, so you just drew the game, even though you had a mate in 4. So you definitely don't want to do that. We'll call that a blunder. Same idea for promoting to a rook. So let's mark that blunder because that would be just the same type of stalemate that I showed with the queen. Maybe you're thinking really creatively and saying, hey, I'll promote to a bishop. That way I can like knife in somehow maybe. Nope, that's actually even worse because that's not going to be a stalemate. That's going to be a loss. They can play king d8 and start to unravel their pieces. So even if you take here or take here, it's just simply not going to be enough. The computer is saying knight f4 is the best move, but that's for black, or that's for white, and we're still down 2 points in material. So if you take here, the example being, hey, I'll get a fork, this is not going to work out because they can just trade everything off and white is losing because this queen's going to eventually break out. Okay, in that same spirit, promoting to a knight is also a flat-out blunder. You might think it's a good idea, maybe get in here somehow. Not quite. I like the idea, but not quite. If you go for something like they play king d8, if you go for something like check, that's not a good idea. They can get out. There's nothing you really can do. You can try to bring your other knight in. It's not going to work. Surprisingly, even though you have a way to like crack through and win a queen, or win a rook at least, it's not enough. So this position is about a draw, but I just played some random moves, so it's not the best. So a draw for black would be good in this position. Okay, so what is the winning move? Well, there are 2 ways to checkmate in 4, and they both surround this knight. They are both of these squares, d4 and f4. Okay, so let's go to d4. Can you find the mate in 3 from here? It's a little different because things are a little bit different now that they can move out like this. Oops. Can you find it? So give it a shot. The mate in 3 from here shouldn't be too hard to find. I think it's that first move that's a little bit hard to find because my eye, at least, is so fixated on this promotion. So there is a mate. That mate is promote to a queen. They move here. And be super careful. Don't stalemate anybody. How do you win in 2 moves? Try to win in exactly 2 moves without stalemating. Right? If your thought is to bring the queen in, that's a good idea. It's a good instinct. But that's stalemate. So see if you can find the idea from 2 moves out. Isn't it amazing? Only 2 moves. The first move is really just moving this bishop anywhere. I like this personally, but the idea is giving this pawn room to run, which negates all of the stalemate threats, and the next move is mate. Not with the queen, instead with the knight. That's why both of these squares worked, because they both led to the next hop of e6. So that is the mate in 4. There are so many cool variations in this puzzle because of how bunched up all the pieces are. All right, one thing I didn't mention off the top was what if I just take? Like, that works, but it's not mate in 4. You would still win. They take, sure, capture away, I guess. But, this is winning for white. And that was not the best sequence. The best sequence, if you want to take from the pawn, the computer is saying you promote here to a queen. I'm not so sure the difference. I wasn't looking at that variation very deep, but you get the idea. So that whole sequence is still a win, but it's not mate in 4. And you'll find that some of these puzzles, it's easier to mate in like 5 or 6 than it is to mate in 4. So that's pretty much it. Get your knight on one of these squares. They have to move. You can promote to a rook if you want, sure. They come back, and then make room for this e-pawn. So we can run either 2 or 1. I like this move because of the kind of like the aesthetic of suffocating the king. And then they run away, and that is mate. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Kind of a funny looking puzzle. Just like right this last position, there are no pieces on this side of the board except the king. Kind of think that's funny. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that great stuff. And until next time, thanks so much. Bye.